Well, absolutely right to say that market at this point in time is quite cautious here, and that's the reason, even though it started on a good note here, now we are seeing that the market has gone somewhere neutral, probably expecting some good news from the vote on account that will be present today in the parliament. Well, what India IMC is thinking about this vote on account, to get more details on it, right now I am at the Indian Merchant Chamber, and with me I have the president of the Indian Merchant Chamber, Somaya sir. So welcome to DD India.
Thank you.
Well, the most important question today is that what the India INC is thinking from this budget, even though it is a vote on account, but what is the expectation from this vote on account?
Thank you for having me. I think it is an interim budget. I think it is an important point for the government to state what it has done and underscore what it plans to do in the future. If you look at what the government has done in the overall geopolitical situation of the previous pandemic, it has brought, in spite of these difficulties, India to be the 5th largest economy in the world and growing at 6.5%. So I think the push on infrastructure will continue with greater emphasis on infrastructure. The private sector participation in the economy can go forward. We also think that the opportunities are there for manufacturing because the world is looking at India in a much more positive way. There is a China plus one strategy that many other countries are looking at. And we would hope that in this Atmanirbharta strategy that the government has, the government will further add to simplifying business, take further steps to what it has done in the past, and also give the Indian manufacturing industry a leg up to even protect it from cheap imports that might be coming from elsewhere.
Well, the Indian government is trying to strike a balance between the fiscal discipline also. At the same time, you're focusing on some of the social welfare programs. The government is spending heavily on it. What do you think probably this time around also on vote on account and probably going forward would be the path of the Indian government and what India and how India is actually looking at it?
I still think we have to look at it in the overall context of the geopolitical tensions and the pandemic that preceded it. I think the Indian government has done well to keep the country growing and keep the inflation under check. And also I think that the fiscal policy has worked in tandem with the monetary policy to keep us ready to become the 3rd largest economy in the next few years.
Absolutely. One of my colleague actually asked me this, that how Indian market is doing. We all know that the Indian market has emerged to the 4th largest market, share market in the world here. We just left Hong Kong behind now. Most of the retail investors and FIs also invested heavily into it. How do you see the probably growth of the Indian share market and stock market going forward?
I think the future is bright. India has a young population. It has a growing population. It's rapidly urbanizing, and rapidly with the 6.5% growth, more and more people are going to improve their levels and standards of living. With increase in standards of living will come increases in consumption and also in savings, and that can only help. Savings can go in 2 places. One is in fixed, and also the other is in the stock market. And the population will definitely want to benefit from the growth of the economy. So I think the future is bright.
Absolutely. And looking at the financial education at this point in time, the Indian population probably investing more into stock market, and we may see that the number will increase in future as well.
We're seeing that the SIPs are also continuously going higher month on month. So I think, it is a part of the India growth story, and it is based on domestic market, domestic demand, domestic consumption.
My last question to you, that which are the sectors are probably you're looking forward that will be a brighter spot from India's economic perspective is concerned, and will also get quite a good attention in the budget or vote on account as well?
I think we have to look at a spectrum. India is still an agrarian economy. So agriculture can be looked at also as a sunrise industry from the past. There is a great possibility of increasing yields and increasing, the base of and that will also help increase and broad base the larger population, benefits of the larger population. And then the other end of the spectrum is space. We've just seen India's work in space. Now, and all things in the middle. So India will have to help the demographic dividend of the country so that skilling takes place. The skilling takes place so that our young population can participate from the sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, services, defense, space, and also inculcate and further incubate a startup environment